referendum internationally, it is recognized that a media channel, which is disseminating information to the mass, is expected to follow 5 basic elements, starting from being truth and accuracy, independence, fairness and impartiality, accountability, and humanity, to say the least. But unfortunately, many media houses, including the Ruetir channel, seems to fail miserably in this. And this video is in response to the recent article from the channel called Ruetir.
Yes, we do acknowledge that media plays a very crucial role in spreading the right information to people and forming the right opinions and conclusions to people. But it's alarming to see media channels spreading hate speech, media's unethical stance, and systematic disinformation campaign,
and perpetuating further persecution to our already marginalized indigenous Hindu communities that are represented by Kailasa.
There are always two sides to every story, and it is important that the media, which plays the crucial role of spreading the opinions amongst people, does the basic fact check, presenting both the sides of the story and letting the readers, the viewers, each of us come to the right conclusions.
Absolutely, and it's so unfortunate that till date, none of these media houses have even contacted us or attempted to contact us.
And we strongly condemn any such Hindu-phobic, racist, lawfare and disinformation systematically perpetrated through such articles, which, as history has shown, is a weapon that the imperial races had perpetrated transnationally for thousands of years.
This fundamental human right has been enshrined in many international entities, including the United Nations. The United Nations International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the ICCPR, which has been recognized by 178 nations. In its very first article states, all the people have the right to self-determination. By the virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social and cultural development.
And there are several examples of nations which some would say are a state, some would say no. But they exist with their inherent right of self-determination. Self-determination is a human right. Countries like Palestine, Kosovo and Taiwan exercise this right to self-determination, and they exist.
People with a common origin, history, language, culture, customs or religion have the right to turn into a nation. It is through the awakening of the national consciousness. So by you name-calling us and misrepresenting us and spreading the hatred, disinformation, claiming falsely that Kailasa is fake, shows what a racist, Hindu-phobic, atrocity material generation is being done by this media house, and we strongly condemn this. This media house is directly attacking the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with so many false claims, allegations, accusations and abuses.
What is this about calling the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism fugitive? Firstly, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not a fugitive. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is persecuted solely for the purpose. He is standing up for Hinduism, unapologetically being the voice for 2 billion of us Hindus.
The persecution is so severe, his basic fundamental human rights have been denied, which is well documented with a plethora of evidence.
No international body, including the Interpol, has ever called Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, a fugitive. In fact, Interpol rejected any request to issue any notices for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, based on the evidence that was presented to them. This clearly establishes that the statements made by Ruetir falsely accusing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are baseless and frivolous. More than 10 years ago, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was exonerated by the US court. Not just that, the court also fined the false victim nearly $500,000 in fine. The omission of such an important fact, where the US court has exonerated the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by the media channel, reflects journalistic non-integrity. False accusations are strong indicators of journalistic non-integrities of the authors, the editors and the publishers, including the Ruetir channel. In addition to all of this, many world-renowned in human rights advocates like the King's Counsel, Mr. Jeffrey Robertson, have given independent reports and legal opinions attesting to the fact The allegations on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are all false.
By the repetitive use of words like fake country, Reuters, you are brutally denying the very existence of Kailasa, and doing so you're denying the very purpose and the need of Kailasa. Hindus have been orphaned through centuries of persecution. By your denial, you're denying that very persecution, the colonization and the brutal Holocaust that the Hindus have faced for centuries together.
We strongly condemn this racist, Hindu-phobic article's disinformation that is spread by channels like Reuters. This article manipulates the facts and claims that Kailasa duped the Paraguay officials
without any obligation to contribute. Completely selflessly, Kailasa has contributed over 5 million PYG worth of medical aid to support the people in the said local community of Paraguay.
And this is just one of the various other initiatives that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has set forth to contribute to the humanity.
Fundamentally, Kailasa is a humanitarian services-based nation. And this aid is not collected, gathered through taxes like how many other established nations are. But instead, it is raised through the sheer hard work, immense sacrifices of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nityananda Parameshwar, and the contributions of the hardworking individuals of the persecuted minority indigenous community who see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's hard work, relentless sacrifice, and the unshakable commitment towards the mission.
Kailasa is real. Kailasa is recognized international body and has established bilateral relations and has not scammed anyone. Organizations and institutions representing Kailasa have established diplomatic relations with many cities, states, constituencies, municipalities around the world, bridging cultures, encouraging interreligious dialogue, and continuing our Hindu-based humanitarian services to promote global peace through better understanding of diverse cultures.
It's really unfortunate that the Hindu-phobic, racist articles, media such as the Ruetir, does not even want to acknowledge or even look into the basic fundamental facts or see what Kailasa has not just committed, what it has already delivered. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism over last 30 years has been providing free education to the world. In fact, I have graduated from Kailasa's Nityananda Rajayodhya Gurukul and studied in the university, the world's largest Hindu university, which is the Nityananda Hindu University, which is completely available free of cost.
In addition to this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched various initiatives which Kailasa for the last 30 plus years has been continuously extending to the humanity. For example, over 1 billion free organic sattvic meals have been served to people, medical aids, setting up free medical camps, providing free accommodations to people, attending to the people in need, attending to disaster relief camps. So many initiatives like this are being actively extended to humanity in Kailasas, which are spread in over 150 countries around the globe,
including during the pandemic time, when the multi-layered preventive quarantine methods were enabled in multiple Kailasas across the globe, irrespective of race, religion, caste, nationality or gender. Everyone were warmly welcomed, and all of these services were provided completely free of cost, not just helping a few people, but transforming their lives, saving lives throughout the pandemic.
And what we are telling you is just some of the thousands of initiatives that are actively happening, changing lives every single day, making a difference to the people in need.
We would like to put an end, a full stop, to this continuous, relentless persecution and attack on Kailasa, attack on the Hindus, the indigenous minority Hindu communities.
And we call upon the Reuters channel to publish an official apology for spreading hate speech, disinformation, Hindu-phobic, racist articles.